very much indeed. Hello and welcome to The Big Ask with me, Alexander Armstrong, a brand new show that's all about mind-baffling questions. You won't have seen celebrity brains straining this hard since Wayne Rooney tried to tie on shoelaces. Yes, it's the show where I challenge my guests to come up with brilliant questions. After all, 18th century French philosopher Voltaire once said, "Judge a person on their questions rather than their answers." And it was Noel Edmonds who once said, "Do you want to open box number 4?" My clever guests will be showing more mental leaps than Nick Clegg looking at his manifesto promises. Along the way, we'll be unearthing all sorts of surprising facts, such as, did you know that Queen Elizabeth I of England was completely bald? Yes, she lost her hair after suffering smallpox at the age of 29, so covered in pockmarks and bald, yet somehow still managed to remain a virgin. So, let me introduce my companions for the evening. Peep Show star Robert Webb, comedian and writer Katie Brand, and all-round funny man, Griff Rhys-Jones. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome up to my flat.
I'm sorry the lift's not working.
It's so nice to have you here.
It's lovely to be here.
What do you think?
It's a great view, Xander.
I know, we're particularly pleased with it.
What city is it we're looking at?
Philadelphia.
It's
Philadelphia and Orlando over there.
Nice.
Yes, you can see for miles. I like to think of you as something of an academic man, Robert.
Do you?
Do you have any proud moments, any great accolades of academe?
I suppose my greatest achievement or award was probably something to do with... Well, at school, I won a small plastic silver shield for being the substitute player in an inter-school quiz about the history of the police in Lincolnshire.
Were you clever at school, Katie?
I won an RE prize, but that was because I was the only person
Christian.
in the... I was the only Christian in the village.
Griff?
We didn't have prizes in my school. We were just given an extra bowl of gruel. Well, I have come to this game now, which is about questions, which is useful for me, because I have reached the age where the rest of my family sit around me and say, "What are you trying to say?"
Well, listen, I've enlisted the help of a friend to check the answers tonight. Very important indeed. Armed merely with the expertise of the entire internet. He's lurking in his fact bunker down in the basement trying to remember his password. He's my good friend. He's Mr. Dave Lamb. There he is. Look at you there.
All right, Xander. Hello there. How are you?
Seldom better.
Everything going all right up there?
So far, yes.
Lovely, lovely. Well, I'm just having a bit of a pre-show browse down here, and I think I've found you my favourite film poster of all time. Here it is. There it is.
Wow.
It's the terrifying story of the Ginger Dead Man. Evil never tasted so good.
I've remembered now my favourite film poster, which I saw in a back alley in Egypt with a really tough-looking man on it, and the movie was called One Tough Bastard.
Anyway, so here we go with round one. All my guests have to do is pick a category and then set a fiendish question for the others to answer. I'll be dishing out points for good questions and also good answers. And bonus points are available if I am sufficiently entertained. So there you are. The gauntlet has been cast at your feet. Now, Robert, you are first. I would like you to pick a coloured folder which will reveal a category. There we go. There are your 3 folders. I'm going to call that yellow. You could call it buff. Red or green.
I will go for red.
Your category is monsters.
Ooh.
Monsters.
OK. One of the most famous monsters is in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, created by Dr. Frankenstein, and there's been lots of adaptations of Frankenstein, but I think probably the best version was the 1985 film Weird Science, where 2 American teenage boys create their own monster, if you will, played by Kelly LeBrock, to be their fantasy woman on their home computer. Now, my question... Yes. My question is this. What is the thing, the object, that the lightning goes into to create, to bring life into the monster in Weird Science?
Oh, it's fantastic. What a brilliant question.
Thanks.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, good. What I'd like you all to do is to write down your answers. Now, obviously, a pen and paper would be far too 20th century, so I've decided I'm going to give you all an electronic tablet. It's like a pen and paper, just more expensive and less reliable. Rob, it'd be good to have your proper answer as a control. American monster Bigfoot is said to be about 6 foot high and weigh over 500 pounds, so much like most other Americans.
Zander, you mentioned Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Just then. I've actually found a picture of him. Let me show it to you. Here, look at this. He's also known, of course, as Sasquatch, which is Native American for actor in a monkey suit.
Right, well, the question was, in Weird Science, what has lightning passed through it, leading to the creation of Kelly LeBrock?
I want to register a little protest here.
Yes.
Because I noticed that Robert starts off with one of the greatest works of literature and brings it down to Kelly LeBrock.
Yes.
So
I know the channel.
Yeah, right.
I know where I am. We all know where we are. It's not called David. It's called Dave.
In which case, my answer will be, was it a rabbit-shaped dildo?
It would be odd for two sexually stunted teenagers to have a rabbit-shaped dildo lying around. Or
And
maybe
then to
not.
hope that was going to turn into a dream girl.
Yeah.
The film, as it is not at all far-fetched.
Anyway, Katie.
I've written a fake breast.
What, they'd have one of those?
Well, you know.
They'd have one of those. Why would they need a dream woman?
Was it a plastic blow-up doll? Is that closer?
It's kind of closer. It's kind of closer.
What's your answer, Rob?
The answer is they use a Barbie doll.
Ah. You've said a Barbie doll. Dave, what is it? Is it right?
He's 100% right, yes, I know.
Well, very, very, very good question, Rob. You've flummoxed both of your rivals, so you score a wonderful 2 points. Very good. Very good indeed. Well, Griff, you are next. I would like you to pick a category.
I'll have the beige one.
We're going to go for Manila. OK, there we are. There we are. Let's see what we've got. Explorers. I would like you to delve into that massive brain of yours and see if you can come up with a question on the subject of explorers.
I'm just looking at your picture at the moment, just trying to work out which you see as the explorer in that picture. You'd naturally think that it was the tall guy with the white shirt and the shorts, but in fact the explorer is the other guy who's on a visit to Bournemouth and has discovered this man in Bournemouth Winter City Garden. But the question is, what were Captain James Cook's secret orders on his first journey after he had been to Tahiti? These were so secret that they were for his eyes only. What were they?
OK. What were Captain Cook's secret orders from the Admiralty? Write down your answers. In the 15th century, explorers roamed the Caribbean looking for gold, slaves, and excellent deals on all-inclusive family holidays. Amerigo Vespucci was an Italian explorer who ultimately lent his name to the US, or to give it its proper name, the United States of Vespucci. Italian explorer Marco Polo was one of the first people to discover China, second only to the Chinese.
I like it when you do your one-show voice.
Is that my one-show voice? Is usually go, sorry, shut up, interesting man. Here's Dom Littlewood with a programme he's made about prescriptions.
It's the segues. Is the hallmark of a great one-show. But enough about mass murder. Here's a piece about apples.
I'm being sincere, but I'm also a little bit intrigued.
And now I'm going to do a little bit about charity. Question was, what were the secret instructions given to Captain Cook? Now, Katie, you finished writing. I think you might have an answer.
I've got go to America and invent hot dogs. I'm not getting anything off.
You're not close, no.
Rob.
I've written, if they give you any jip, then burn them. Just, history of imperialism being what it is.
Yes.
It might not be very friendly.
Is he close?
No, he's not close at all. His instructions were to look for the great lost southern continent. This was because they believed, in those days, that the world had Europe near the North Pole and had to be balanced. Otherwise, the Earth would swivel about.
That's right,
yes.
It had to be balanced by another great continent somewhere in the south. Not Australia, because they discovered that. So they genuinely believed that there was a huge sort of European-type continent.
But for completely the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Dave, is that right answer?
Griff is absolutely spot on, yes.
What about that? Fantastic. Very well done. Brilliant. Very, very well done.
Well, I've actually got a bit more here from Captain Cook. When he arrived in Hawaii, he was mistaken for their god, Lono. There he is.
Lono's penis goes below his knees.
everyone's.
Well, that's a fantastic question, Griff. Nobody answered it correctly, so you get 2 points. 2 points for Griff. Very well done. Well, now, Katie, you are next. You get to pick a category. You've got a lot to choose from.
I think I'm going to go for green.
All right, very good. Green. OK, well, let's see what the green yields. Brazil.
Ooh.
Brazil, that's...
Do you know, I was going to wear something very similar myself.
That's actually a still from Brazilian question time.
Yes.
So, yes, there we are. Brazil,
Right,
Brazil.
There are a couple of things I know about Brazil. There is an odd thing I know, and so I think I'm going to try and claw back some points.
OK.
In the 1920s, an entire town was built from scratch in the middle of the Amazonian rainforest. What was the name of that town? It's quite an odd and distinctive name.
Milton Keynesio.
What was the name of that place?
What was the name? I was about to answer you then.
Looking like commanding.
I'm not as stupid as I...
What was the name of that place? OK, well, I'd like you to write down the answers, then. Very good indeed. Well, Brazil, of course, is home to the Amazon rainforest, although in the last few years, huge swathes of dense growth have been ruthlessly cut back, meaning that Brazil has become the first country in the world ever to give itself a Brazilian. Brazil's footballing genius Pelé is so famous he only needs one name. England's leading striker is Peter James Albert Crouch. OK, very good. Nobody's writing anymore, I don't think. The question was, what was the name of the city built in the middle of the Amazon jungle in the 1920s? That's what you said. Griff.
Well, I've written down Manaus, but that's not true, is it? Manaus has probably been there for longer. Is it Manaus?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I know nothing.
Well, what are you sitting there for?
I've asked myself that question 100 times. Rob, come on. Let's...
I'm not enormously happy with this answer. I have to tell you, it is a guess. I went for No Tree Newtown.
Is that a real place, or is it a place from your magical mind?
As I say, it was something of a hunch.
Right.
I made it up.
Well, Rob, you're absolutely right. No.
So what is the name of this town?
The name of this place is Fordlandia.
It's a pretty name.
Yeah, it's a nice name.
Fordland, is that the name of a town?
Well, it was probably just Fordland, and then they thought, oh, shit, it's in Brazil. Yeah. Make it sound a bit more Brazilian. It was built at the behest of Henry Ford because he wanted to bypass having to pay the British for rubber. But no one who was involved in the town planning knew anything about farming this kind of land or indeed rubber trees. So they built all these rubber trees too close together. They were all wiped out almost immediately from various tree diseases, and the whole place has been abandoned pretty much ever since.
And he had to come cap in hand to the British.
Yes.
Dave, you're right.
She's completely nailed it.
Brilliant. Very well done. Very well done. Well, that was a brilliant question, Katie, I have to say. You outwitted your rivals, so you also score 2 points. Brilliant. Well done. Which means at the end of that round, it's all squared. Well, now time for round 2, which I call, with respect, you're not answering the question, in which you get the opportunity in the public arena of Dave, very public, to ask celebrities penetrating questions, which they, with respect, almost certainly will not answer. I'll give a point for every salient suggestion that I think deserves it. And let's start with sophisticated gentleman footballer Wayne Rooney.
There are only 2 questions it's possible to ask Wayne Rooney. One is, how's it going? And the other is, all right?
Geriatric Lothario Silvio Berlusconi.
Silvio, you appear to be wanking off the Invisible Man. Why are you only using one finger?
Is that something you've always wanted to ask him?
From now on, yes.
He's just showing what he's going to stick it in next.
Mad culinary scientist Heston Blumenthal.
Oh. Heston, do you ever mistake your head for a baked potato?
And if you do you put it in nitrogen?
Yeah.
And freeze it solid and then bust it open and turn it into toffee apples?
Heston, you know it's just food, don't you?
confirmed bachelor, or maybe just not met the right woman, Louis Spence.
I'd like to ask Louis why he's wearing the table from the set.
Louis Spence, we can all agree that you must and should fuck off. I suppose my question is, please would you?
Well done, everyone. Some great suggestions there. I know I'm going to give Katie 3 points, Rob 3 points, and Griff, sorry, just the measly 1 point for you. Very good, yeah.
Really?
Well, it's that time of the show where we ask the really big question, what are we doing this for? Oh, yes, here's some adverts. See you in part 2. Fabulous. Well, welcome back to The Big Ask, the show where the panellists have to come up not only with the answers, but also the questions. It's the craziest idea since blankety blank on ice. Well, it is time for our next round. I'm going to ask all my guests to think of a question on the same topic. I think you might quite like this. Here it is. Take a look at that. This, of course, is a pufferfish. It puffs up when it feels threatened. I think it was quite right to do so in this case. It's been caught, stuffed and put in a box. I'm not sure how they inflate. I mean, I know how this one inflated. A straw and a taxidermist's fetid breath, but... So, there we are. There is my pufferfish.
And this is eaten by Japanese...
Brave Japanese.
Yes,
Eat the wrong bit, you die.
Yes.
No, they don't eat pufferfish.
They
eat
do.
a different fish altogether, do they?
They eat fugu.
Have you ever tried it?
Oh, fuck no. What are you on? The topic is...
Poison?
It is poison, because the pufferfish is one of the most poisonous creatures in the world. So I want all three of you to think of a question on the subject of poison, and I shall choose my favourite. Yes. The pufferfish is the second most poisonous animal in the world, just narrowly beaten by Piers Morgan. Robert, do you have any questions yet?
OK, in the story Sparkling Cyanide by Agatha Christie, the characters are poisoned using which poison?
What was the name of the book again?
It's called Sparkling Cyanide.
Right, I've logged your question, Rob.
I think I've got
Katie?
one. There was a notorious female poisoner called Arsenic Annie, was her nickname.
What was her poison of choice?
She... oh, damn it! She actually managed to kill 11 members of her family over the course of many years without being discovered. So my question is, how did she manage to do that?
Ah, I wonder. I'm assuming that sobriquet was given to her after her arrest. Griff.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I've been in an Agatha Christie, the 420 from Paddington. I played the doctor who did it.
I played the Inspector in Agatha Christie, and I had to wear nearly a ton of tweed.
Was it a Marple or a Poirot?
It's a marble.
No one asked me to be in a fucking marble!
So, Griff, what's your question on the subject of poison?
My question is, what's the connection between Santa Claus and reindeer's urine?
Well... To whom shall I award this wonderful point? Well, who was complaining in the last time? Ah, Griff! So, yes, a point to Griff. And the question is, of course, what is the connection between Father Christmas and reindeer wee? I think I've got the right... That's right, isn't it? That's it?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yes,
OK, well, if you'll write down your answers on our electronic tablets.
OK.
Yes, Emperor Nero put cyanide in food in order to get rid of unwanted family members. I suppose we've all had Boxing Days like that, haven't we? We have the question. I'd like to hear some answers, please. Rob.
I'm not sure about this. Did Santa poison himself in despair because the reindeers were weeing his name in the snow?
I'm not giving anything away.
OK. Katie.
Did Mrs. Claus offer it to him as his favourite Christmas cocktail with tonic? I've just added it at the bottom there, because I wanted to make it plausible.
Do you know the answer to this?
I do know the answer to this, funnily enough.
know the
I
answer.
actually know the answer to this.
Everybody knows the answer to this. I put an easy one in. That's the clue.
He's
Now,
drawn
if I
it.
give you that clue...
Toadstool.
Yes.
Do you do know the answer to
Is
this?
it to do with...
Toadstools are poisonous.
Is it to do with the reindeer weeing as they go over with the sleigh on the toadstools and they become like Christmas mushrooms?
No, it's a hallucinogen, isn't it? It's a hallucinogen thing. I think there was a toadstool that you ate, and it was hallucinogenic, and the rich people ate the toadstool, and the poor people drank the wee of the people who'd eaten the toadstool, and it was red and white.
Nearly, because that's very good. I'm going to give you 4 points for that.
What about that?
Which puts you instantly in the lead over all your guests, which is the place to be.
It's a terrible host.
But the fly algaric, which we all know, is that red spotty mushroom. You know, the red spotty with the white spots on it? It's deadly poisonous. But not to a reindeer, because a reindeer, being a larger organism than a human being, eats the toadstool, and then later on peas, and the Laplander, in search of a good time, goes and eats the yellow snow and gets enough of a dose of the fly algaric, not to kill him, but to make him very high.
Ooh. So are the reindeer high all the time as well?
The reindeer are...
flying.
And of course, Father Christmas, where does he come from?
Lapland.
From Lapland. And what is the colour of Father Christmas's coat?
Red and white.
Red and white.
Xander.
Oh, Dave, hello.
Xander, hello. In essence, he's absolutely spot on.
Oh, so it's another point to Griff. Look at that. Brilliant question. And brilliant answer that no one else could give. So 2 points to Griff. And just while we're talking about poison, what was the answer to your question, Rob? In fact, what was your question?
My question was, in the
Sparkling
Agatha Christie story, Sparkling Cyanide, what poison was used as a poison? The answer was cyanide.
Katie, what was the answer to your question? Arsenic Annie.
She would sprinkle rat poison on her favourite dish, which was stewed prunes.
Arsenic was a very common thing knocking around in Victorian England as well, because it was used to create green, the dye, green. So you would have people sitting with green wallpaper in their house, gradually dying of arsenic poisoning. It was just extremely common. If you know, and they didn't have a television to watch, so obviously you watched the wallpaper, and gradually you just faded away. And the same was true of dresses, so that girls would have beautiful green ballroom dresses, and as they danced, they were basically poisoning everybody and themselves.
Yeah.
Dave, have you got anything to add at this point?
I would just like to confirm what Griff was saying, though. That is why you should never dance with a girl on St Patrick's Day in Ireland. That's in the past, of course, because you would be poisoned to death.
The green of her dress would kill you.
You would be dead.
Well, what about her, for God's sake?
She'd be dead as well. Everyone would be dead. What a shit disco.
So at the end of that round, I now have 4 points, Rob and Katie have 5, and Griff has jumped into the lead with 6. What a turnaround. Amazing. OK, time for our quickfire buzzer round now, and a chance for everyone to get plenty of points. I'll show you a category, and you must think of a question as quickly as possible. Fingers at the ready. Here we go. Our first category is the Bible. Katie.
What Christmas tradition is actually expressly forbidden in the Old Testament?
Rob.
Incest.
No, it is actually having a Christmas tree.
Expressly forbidden?
Cutting down a tree and bringing it inside your house is forbidden in Leviticus.
Good old Leviticus.
Good old Leviticus.
That's the one with all the real...
He was a barrel of laughs.
Real joy.
Yeah.
Katie, you get 1 point. So on to our next category, and it is... Oh, it's the high seas. The high seas. Yes, we have a question.
OK, which is the highest sea?
Rob.
They're all the same level.
Sea level.
It's a great question, Griff.
The Dead Sea is very low, isn't it?
Oh, I see.
That's true. It's very... But the highest tide in the world is in the Fundy Bay in Canada.
Oh, it's an excellent question and an excellently answered question as well, albeit your own
strictly
question.
speaking, they're probably right.
Yeah, sea level's always sea level.
Oh, Lord. Did you heard the man, the Dead Sea? The
Well,
Dead
I think
Sea?
we better go to
No. Dave, what's the highest sea? Is it in Canada?
No, it's not. It's on the moon. It's the Sea of Tranquility, surely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
That was a massive groan. I don't think It's the computer saying it, not me.
Yes.
On Earth.
It's your moment of triumph.
You never said on Earth, did you, Griff, or did you?
No, I didn't say on Earth.
No.
OK, I'm going to give 1 point to Griff and 1 point to Dave.
Get it!
OK, very good. Right. Next category. Oh, it's vegetables.
Oh.
Yes, Katie.
Which vegetable did President George Bush Sr. Publicly say he hated?
Griff.
His son.
The answer is broccoli.
Very good. Couple of points to you, 1 point to Griff. OK, next category. It's Shakespeare. Yes, Rob.
In what year was William Shakespeare born?
Oh.
I know.
15.
Some numbers are funnier than others.
Katie.
No.
1564.
It is 1564.
Is it?
It is, to 1616.
Wow.
I happen to know. Very, very well done. 1 point, 1 point.
I've got another question.
Yeah, but
How
quickly.
big was Shakespeare's vocabulary?
Very big.
Wrong.
How big was it?
Your vocabulary is bigger than Shakespeare's
Yes,
Because he
vocabulary.
invented half of it.
but he doesn't
Because
know
you
what a
have
modem
more
is.
words than he used. He used about 18,000. The average English citizen today uses about 25,000.
I think that's worth a couple of points as well there for Mr. Griff Rhys-Jones. Let's have a look at our next category.
Can I have 100
Yes.
points for my...
Well, if you come up with it for your Here is our final category, and it's magic. Oh. Griff.
Who is David Nixon?
He was a TV magician.
Damn.
Is it?
Yes, correct.
The sweetness of that! Oh. Well, right, everybody, time's up. Well, some excellent questions and some frankly appalling answers there. But the final scores are in. Who is our first ever champion of the Big Ask? Well, I can tell you, Rob has 10, Griff has 10, Katie has 10! What about that? Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for watching. We've all learnt something tonight, but remember, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. But then again, so is sticking your finger up a bull's arse. Goodbye.
More from Alexander next as he guests on QI. And looking ahead to Thursday night at 9, don't forget to see another Made by Dave quiz as Al Murray's Compete for the Meat continues.